Hello, and welcome to the third episode of The Mouth, the podcast where we dive into everything Gaelic Athletic Association has to offer. I'm your host, pjkeenan, and today we are tackling the topic that has been on everybody's lips and mouth for this past few weeks. It is the proposed new rules in the GAA. So whether you're a die-hard supporter or just tuning in for the first time, we've got a lot to unpack today. So grab your size 5 O'Neill's balls, settle into your favourite armchair, and let's get this show on the road. Folks, we'll have to start just basically by whether the new rules are a positive or a negative. Some argue that the change has been necessary to keep the sport exciting and relevant. I tend to agree a wee bit. I still have my doubts on a few of the rules, but we'll get into that. Others fear that altering the rules could disrupt the essence of the game we love. Personally, I believe it's a bit of both. Change can bring fresh energy, but also it's crucial to maintain the integrity of the sport and its rich culture. 100%. You can't be changing too much. Like I'm not just saying this because I'm an Armagh man, but games decided on penalties and Gaelic, no, it can't happen. There has to be a better way. I don't know what the better way might be. That's up to the powers that be to figure that out. Charlie Bournes and the rest. Jim Gavin maybe as well. He likes to have a lot to say, doesn't he? It's him and his band of merry men that have come up with this rule change. Michael Murphy, I remember him in Fermanagh. Now, why are the GAA looking to introduce these new rules? Primarily, it seems to be a desire to enhance the speed and the flow and the pace of the game. Less of this blanket defence, making it more engaging for audiences, whether you're at home, pub, or at in the stadiums. They're trying to make it just a bit faster. It has got very slow, I will agree. It has got, the backward passing, the sideward passing. It's very tactical. They're trying to draw the defence out. Once the defence comes out, they get into that wee scoring zone, bang over the bar. Also, the reason that they're talking about it is they reckon there's also a talk about improving players' safety. If you watched the end games the other night, I'm not 100% sure about that. You know what I mean? Niall Grimley was saying afterwards, there's a lot of running and up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So that can't be good for the players' safety. Maybe now, Rian O'Neill complained that there was less contact. That's good. Rian loves a good scrap. He was saying that there was hardly any contact. The ball was just being flying through midfield. Have you seen on the Friday night games? Ulster definitely tried to kick it, so they did. Trying to show probably that side of the game a wee bit more, but then on the Saturday they definitely run the ball a lot more, 100%. Let's be honest here, it's definitely a balancing act, so it is trying to get everything right, trying to modernise the game while also respecting its tradition, but ultimately something had to be done. I do agree. I definitely do agree something had to be done. Is it too early to tell what these changes might have an impact on the game? We've seen rule changes in the past, and it took time for players and fans to adapt. Over the years there's been plenty of rule changes. Like when the mark was first introduced, it took a while for the fans to get used to it. I'm still not 100% sure on it myself now. Don't know if I like the mark. They're just obviously, when that first came out, I was trying to encourage more kicking and catching, more fielding, more traditional GAA, if you want to call it that there. I have to say I did like it. I'll lump up the field and a good catch. I have to say that's what got me going. And now the mark is just a part of the game, you know, whether you like it or not. It's been around for a while now. Like, ultimately, as supporters and lovers of the GAA, we need a bit of patience. We do. We need a bit of patience. But I don't think we can tell too much after the 4 games that we saw. So, the McKenna Cup would have been a good idea. So it would have been. But they decided not to have their wee pre-season tournaments this year. So I'm reckoning that the league seems to be what they're going to. I hate to say it, like, but it looks like the league's going to probably be a trial. But the rules will be in by then. So the trial and error part will probably mostly happen in the league. Then they'll probably iron out the creases in the league. So they will. My thoughts on the new rules. Well, on a personal note, I have mixed feelings. On one hand, I'm excited about the potential for a faster game, but there's always the nostalgic part of it for me. I'm very wary of change. Too much change. They don't want to change lots too quick. That'll not go down well with the stalwarts of the GAA. No way. There's people out there that are already not happy with any changes. So there's mixed emotions in these rules. But if you look at it properly, something had to be done. A couple of things. The three up and the 3 back. I definitely like that. That's going to be good. That's counter-attacking basically, and you know, you leave 3 of your best players up, and they're one-on-one. You know, if they're a man, that's what they're trying to create. More one-on-ones, more duels. Like it used to be 15 against 15. You know, you take your man, that's your man, you stick at him, he's your responsibility for the next 70 minutes. Then it's broke away from that. There's no more of that there. Maybe the odd wee bit of man marking one man, you know what I mean? But there's no 15 against 15 anymore, one-on-ones. Definitely not. I'm not excuse me, I'm not 100% confident or sure about the new scoring zones. I think if you look at it properly, like there's going to be games where the likes of Dublin will destroy teams in Leinster, absolutely destroy them, like 40 odd points you're talking about. Like, you know, I just don't think that's definitely, like, people are saying that the new rules are trying to make it a bit fair. That's definitely not making it fair. No way. I don't think anyway. I don't know what you do there. You can't penalise one team for being better than the other. But I honestly don't think the new scoring system needs to come in. I don't know what that is. They're trying to encourage probably more long range shooting. Which, let's be honest, we all love to see a good ping from 45-50 metres out, like. But I also like to see a ball being worked in, wee hand passes, tactic passes, you know what I mean, wee tinky, and then over the bar. There's nothing wrong with that. That's ultimately as good to watch for me anyway. That's ultimately as good to watch as long as it's fast. It's not like they get in and they have a chance to shoot and then to go back with Armagh, or, oh god, very frustrating there for years. Armagh would get into a shooting zone and near enough looked like they were afraid to shoot because McGeeney ate the head of them. Well, that all changed, didn't it? I'll have to definitely approach the new rules with an open mind. as fans, we just can't be banging the table going no, no, no. We can't be doing that. You have to be open-minded. I know there's people out there that just don't want to change anything. But on my personal level, change needed to happen. It definitely did, 100%. It definitely did. So but also as fans, we have to be allowed to voice our concerns in a constructive way. That's why I'm doing this podcast. This is my way of voicing my opinions and saying how I feel about the new rules. Before we go any further, folks, I need to take this opportunity. That's me just turning the page. I need to take this opportunity to thank my sponsor, as always, Max Espresso, Anto Max, absolute legend of a man. So, well, you're having a wee cup of coffee, a bit of lunch, a bit of dinner, nip out to Balacrummy there, and go through the wee drive-through, and they'll look after you, don't worry about that. Anto has them all trained. Top man, thank you again. Now, we'll take a wee look at the history of the GAA, the rules of the GAA. Sorry, let me get comfortable. So let's take a step back and look at the history of the GAA rules. The GAA has a rich tradition of evolving its rulebook to adapt to the times. From the introduction of the penalty kick to the changes in the scoring systems, the GAA has always been proactive, and it is fascinating to see how each era has shaped the rules we play by today. Well, that's true. Like if you go back, say, and watch a game. Nan Morgan said this the other night in an interview. I'm not sure where it was, but he said and it's true, if you go back and you watch a game from the 80s or the 90s, that's brutal. I'm sorry, I know there's people out there but cursing me up and down the lawn for saying that, but jeez, that football was not good, folks. You go back and just watch it and you know what I mean. You know exactly what I'm saying. Like, they were just getting it and lumping it. I'm not sure there's any skillage involved in that there. It's just, like any sport, like anything, not even doesn't have to be sport, but anything in life has to evolve and has to have the opportunity to change and grow. And I think these new rules definitely give us that opportunity. But I'm going to keep saying the same thing. I've only seen 4 games of these new rules. And the other thing is too, the referee being mic'd up. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be a new thing. 100% in every game. I don't see how they're going to do that every game. But well, maybe they could. That's only for people at home, possibly. We're not going to be hearing that when we're there. But I like the idea of that. I don't know if that was just so the referee could explain, and it would make it easier for people at home to understand these games and these rules. But I thought that was good. Rugby do that, NFL do that. I didn't mind that. That keeps the fans engaged and they know what's going on then, and that's never a bad thing. So, folks, we'll discuss the outline. What happens next? I hear you say. Is that what you hear he's crying? What happens next, PJ? Well, I'll tell you what happens next. It goes to the GAA Congress. So it does. I think it goes to a vote for, maybe this sounds maybe a bit too deep, but all the clubs in each county have a say, and then the county then, each county then has a say or a vote. I'm not sure if it's a vote or a say or just give their opinions, but ultimately it boils down to the GAA Congress. I think they're meeting at the end of November to discuss and ultimately vote on the proposed new rules. And here's what's happening. Whatever out of the 7 get voted through, it could be any. It could be all 7. Jeez, don't be all 7. No, don't be all 7. Jeez, you're better than that. Don't be doing that now. So if there's 3 or 4 go through, get voted, then they will be ratified, and starting from January next year, they will be the rules. Come on, mate. That's it. So if there's a new scoring zone or a new scoring system gets voted in, which please don't. I don't want the scoring system to get voted in. No, definitely not. I don't see the point in it. I don't see the point in it. So alright, whatever other rules get voted through, they'll get ratified, and then starting from the 1st of January, there are the new rules. All club teams then have up until the 31st of March, I think, to get their pitches in order. So whether that's the 40-metre arc, they'll have to have a halfway line, possibly. Yeah, so the likes of Abbey Park will have to get new lines drawn. So that'll be a weird one to look at. First time ever in Abbey Park, by on the harps. The voting is a democratic process, and let's be honest, we're all eagerly waiting to see what the outcome is. Well, I know I am. This is the biggest change in the GAA in my lifetime, like, you know what I mean? But I have to say one thing, like, as an Armagh man, scratch this noggin again. It took us, I don't know how many years. It took us how many years to perfect this way of playing, and now they're going to change it. Couldn't write this shit. But McGeeney's good enough to adapt. The players are good enough to adapt. I still think there's plenty of scope to Armagh's tactics to still work. Not that going the whole way back to the keeper, but your Blaine didn't come out much anyway. So whatever happens, it's going to be sure to be a pivotal moment for the GAA. Big moment. Now, what do you all think? This is a time where I want to hear from yous. What are your thoughts on the proposed rules? Do you think they're necessary, or are you more of a traditionalist? Can you say that word? Reach out to me on social media or send me an email. The address is, as always, pjkeenan at pjspod.co.uk. Your opinions matter to me, folks, and I'd love to feature some of your thoughts on next episode. See, this is going to be a wee bit I'm going to do now. If people would start emailing me and give me your thoughts on stuff, anything, just on these here, on the topic that we talk about, you give me a wee shout, I'll read out your thoughts, and we'll do that wee segment on that at the start. That's us, folks, for this part of the podcast anyway. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to subscribe, to rate, and give me a wee review on your favourite podcast platform. Until next time, keep the passion alive, and remember, folks, we're all in this together. Slán go fóill.